It's like, don't recommend the clinic.
That's not good.
All right, so I wonder, did
Running?
anybody not respond that they wouldn't be here?
Scott's not gonna be here.
From. Oh.
Scott's not gonna be here, he's on vacation, so,
You take your side up and
just so you know. I'm gonna hit record.
Okay. All right, so we'll
Okay.
call the meeting.
Call the meeting to order. Could I have is there any additions or deletions to the agenda tonight? Could I have a motion to accept the minutes of our April 6th meeting?
So move.
Second.
All approved, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so they're accepted. Old business, business roundtable update.
So Ben and I met with some of our local business leaders. Things that came out of it were Ben's working with the schools on a manufacturing information and job fair type expo day. And on this end, it actually went into effect today, created the let Middlefield businesses compete for your talent page or a application portal. So I'm going to show you it.
I like that title.
Well, it was a synergy that came out of that meeting. I thought it was this led to this, and this led to this, but it's like, she'll show it to you, but I think it's brilliant. And
This is really what it is. Looking for employment, we can help right now. You fill out the application, including your schedule preference, and we'll match them with employers that have open positions now. So they click here, it's still the same thing, and this is the employee application. They fill it out, they're looking for a job in whatever one of these sectors, they could even select all. And the cool thing about this, if they want part-time, full-time, they don't care what days of the week they're looking for. Pretty much they're filling it out here. On the back end, it's going to every business who signed up to whatever email they wanted it to go to. So every applicant is going to go to every business that signed up. So they'll be able to decide, we can use this person or we can't use this person. And as soon as they match, and they know that they're in that same pool. So there's other companies that are looking at that person too. And hopefully they'll get called back sooner and hopefully fill up some of those positions.
how many signed up?
so it's like a dating site.
It is, I told you, everything's like a dating
Yeah.
site now. It really is.
What I'm saying, it's, here's my preference, here's what I want to do, and instead of going to Craft Made and seeing what they have, and going to Target and see what they have, and going to Mercury and see what, you can go into this one portal, say, here's my
Here's my
wants,
skill.
here's my wants.
Credentials?
And then it goes, so you can go to one spot and apply to 10 different companies, or 8 companies, I guess, are on it.
Is Mercury one of those?
Mercury?
Okay.
Yeah.
I can actually do
Will you be,
But then we want to market Middlefield as a place for employment. So we're Middlefield Village is going to market itself as an ability to employ.
how are we going to do that? I did see the Twitter go out, and I tried the application. It's too much length for me, so I didn't finish.
So
it.
while she's doing that,
Finish it, because you're gonna get, these are going to so these are.
Oh, I'm
going to
glad you
Mercury.
said that.
Yeah, these are going to Mercury.
I was just going to do a test.
I wouldn't do a test because they're gonna call you and ask you if you would like.
Good plan.
So here's where it's going, Mercury, radioactive. Mercury actually is 2 people looking for it. Watson, Target, Chemtech, HC, Clear Skies, Target again, and us.
Bowman's not on it? He'll want to be.
who'd you ask was on it?
Bowman.
Oh,
And anybody can be added at any time. Oh, and, sorry, Tammy's on it too, from Craft Made. Sorry, yeah, she's
And
on it.
Craftmate would want to be on that.
So how do they get on it?
How do they?
How do they contact you? What's the best way? Email?
Email me, yeah. If they can email me the email they want to receive it. And it's really important that they don't just send an email that maybe they check. It has to be a manned email. Only because,
A man's email?
no, a
man.
man, like
Man. Man,
Not
Thinking,
a robo email.
like, yeah, like not like an email that you
a
check.
real person.
I thought you said
Yeah.
a man's email.
No, like a manned email, like a physical, like somebody looks at it daily.
Yes, yes, okay, all right.
Because they are gonna be, I'm anticipating they'll come in spurts and probably be sporadic, so. And Kim, I did look into what you were telling me about the schools, and there's a high percentage of undecided. Not so much that they're not going, but it's undecided right now, and that a lot of the factors, the feedback,
What did you find out? Tell these guys.
the senior graduating class has a very low decided college-bound rate.
I'd heard 5 are confirmed.
Yeah, they think the numbers may have changed a little bit. Now, the majority of the undecided, when I was talking to the schools, some of it's motivation, some of it is the unknown going into the next year of what that school's gonna look like, and maybe they should take a year off, but it may be a good opportunity for the local businesses to get in there and maybe even explain to them, like, HC, you can get an education while you're working there. I think Mercury has the same thing.
Yes,
The tuition
and
credit.
Kim, the chamber's job fair,
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit, hey?
oh, okay.
So the business requested where they could, and their idea was to set up on the football field with craft made, da-da-da-da-da, and you could go in, students and parents, and they're targeting not just a job for today, you know, you're gonna graduate, we got a job for you. They wanna take a 10th grade kid and say, hey, here's the opportunities available in our company. We have tuition reimbursement, we have this, we have this, you can start at this, you can expect to be here in a year and a half, and then when you go home, you can look at it and say, okay, I'm gonna spend $300,000 getting a 4-year degree, or I can go make, during those,
$200,000.
I'll be a $500,000 ahead after 4 years, 5 years, right? And have someone actually explain that to you, where you can see that the dollars spent, the dollars earned. It's kind of like drawing Social Security early. It's like if you look at the dollars spent, the years you draw earlier. It's, you know, so I think they would like to do it more. That's why the job fair, we didn't want to blend it. They want to do more of an educational type thing. Here's opportunities in Middlefield for high school kids that don't want to go to, you know, if your college isn't your choice, and if it is choice, maybe it's the wrong choice. You know, this may be the better choice. We're talking about people that are, you know, mechanics are making $100,000 a year around here. It's like,
Have a date for this yet?
well, I asked the school for the 22nd of Saturday, because they get out of school and he has not responded. You know, superintendent's out on family leave. I mean, this,
So do we have a name for it? Are we calling it an expo? Just so we can
No, but it'll
differentiate?
have more of an expo feel, so you probably would want to differentiate from the
Just
job
so
fair.
when people ask me, because they are asking.
yeah, but I've got to get it, you've got to get it supported before you advertise it.
Right, yeah, you can't
So I
really
came up
talk
with
about
4
it.
companies present that want to do it.
Well,
It's got to be
Owen-
something
Owen
that,
wants to do that as well.
so I saw him today. You know, he's pulling the rug on his project over here.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Because of, and I don't blame him. Bonner had to say he was going to put up a spec building. Building costs are so extremely high. And I talked to Andy today at lunch, it's like, okay, and I talked to Dick as well a couple days ago, but it's like you put up a building that costs you $6 million because prices are so high, and in 2 years, you got a $4 million building with current prices. You're going to say, how dumb was I? So everybody's apprehensive. I mean, you know, you see the job numbers, it doesn't look good, and I'm not going to get political here, but it's the wrong party in office for the go-forward plan here. So there's no faith in the future of this economy, and prices are sky high right now, so why would you stick it out there? It may look like a foolish mistake here very shortly, so. Anyhow, we had a public hearing for tomorrow, there's not bring up, there's a public hearing for
Yeah, we're
Thursday.
just gonna have to exit it.
We're gonna
cross it
just-
off, and
yeah.
table the 2 pieces of
And I think it's the
legislation.
right decision. I mean, I'm not,
He told me to talk to you, so that's why I didn't say anything.
a sheet of plywood, they say particle board's $80, $75 a sheet. How do you build a house today?
I
And
told
I
you.
think it's because there's $75
Yeah.
for a piece of particle plywood, 4x. And I think it's because there's no inventory of used, you know, there's nobody selling their house. I mean, the ones that are sold are gone that quick, so people are still building, but it's like, it costs costly.
Yeah, well, I told you our story. I have a friend that's 50 grand over right now.
Yeah.
They're never gonna get that back.
Elron, did you notice that one, their listing's 375 in Knox
Yeah.
Circle?
2,000 square foot, $375,000.
I already told you my feelings on this.
Yeah.
It makes me very nervous.
Sold his house on Sherman, didn't even make it to the market.
Oh, yeah, it's like, they're gone.
Well, there's a network out there of people who are looking and they grab it. Yeah.
And that's what she said, this realtor said, hey, we have a client who's
Right.
looking for this type of house.
Right, that's what they're doing.
And he came and looked at it, I'll buy it. No contingencies, nothing.
There's also deals going on where you have a certain overage. How far over can you go?
Yeah.
Well, there's areas of the country where that was not uncommon, but it was never common here. Had my ex-assistant sold a house in Orwell. The realtor listed at 20,000 more than they thought it should be listed for, that they personally thought it should be listed for, and they got 15,000 over asking, and sold it that day, listed it that day and sold that day. So it's just in
Where was this?
Orwell, which isn't,
That's passing the appraisals too. It really is.
yeah,
Maybe you should cash out of all your real estate.
I should.
Buy that home in Jamaica.
Price.
Yeah.
I was talking to King, Katrina King's daughter, from Minnesota. They sold their home out there for 50 grand more than they asked.
Yep.
So it's pervasive.
Once I can remember homes in this town that sat out in the market for 2 years. And it's just flipped that fast, and it's not just here,
You weren't getting an asking price either. Yeah.
so,
Yeah, you could watch the price come down every
right.
3 to 6 months. Okay, so there's a lot of things going on in
So they also suggested maybe we update that village promotion video.
Yes.
I mean, it is what is it, 8 years old, 7 years old?
It may be a little bit older, because I think I've been here for
And
7.
the only hesitancy I had is the fact it was a lot of work to do it, and it took quite a bit of money. And when we went to Team Neo, they didn't want that thing out there.
Us?
They just didn't think it brought value. Like, you can talk all day, you got people in your town that's telling how great it is. It's like, well, every town has people that say how great their town is. It's like,
They liked our 30-second clips. I think maybe we could, there is value to it, but it can't be as long. It's, maybe do a 6-minute video instead of the 13-minute.
What are the highlights of
It goes through industry, commercial, residential, and then talks about the village.
had Ace Hardware guy in it, had Joe
Yeah.
Speed in it as a developer, had Louis DeJesus from industry, had Keith Scherzer from Craft Made in it. It just was talking about, they had.
I mean,
so
I do
th-
use it.
No, I think we need to have something that we have more here than people realize. Every time somebody comes here that hasn't been here, it's like, this is what I thought Middlefield was. So it is something we need to get out there, but I'm not sure, I'm not going to impose on.
Maybe I'll see if they have a program going on right now, because I think maybe even something you could gear towards site selectors, even like retail site selectors, and just send them a quick, hey, watch this video clip, and it's less than 5 minutes.
We should tout our utility capacity, we should tout our land availability, the number of large companies here already, total employment. I think there's a lot of attributes here we could do it and put it in a small snippet that's not going to put people to sleep.
Right.
it? Like you need an aerial video.
That drone sitting idle or what?
I haven't been up lately, it's raining.
I got some areas I'm gonna have you fly over. Come see me later. I need.
So anyway, I thought the round table was good, came up with a lot of good ideas. This conglomerate advertising for jobs, I thought was, let's compete against each other. Let's let them put out there, and we're going to go after the candidates, and you go after them, and it's like,
That's how you're gonna get people at this point.
Can
exactly.
we go back to how we're going to promote this?
Yeah, so next week it'll run in like the actual paper, like an actual ad for it, but it's gonna be the same verbiage. So this little verbiage that you see here will always be, just so everybody knows, oh yeah, I can do that there. And it's simple, it explains what you want. I think we'll start to get some hits too within a couple weeks, just because the unemployment they're gonna have to start calling, and I know there'll be some that'll still probably get away with well, they called and asked the questions and answered it.
With the age bracket we're after, I wonder if we should get an Instagram account going.
We can get an Instagram account, but we are not after a specific age bracket.
We aren't?
No,
You don't think for this?
no.
Well, I think it's interesting to go after the high schoolers.
I'm not talking about high schoolers. I'm talking about 20 to 30s. That's where they all are.
I think you need to appeal to all markets, is what Leslie's saying. We're not targeting 20 to 30s, we're targeting all employable people. So, as I told them earlier, and I'm going to apply for we have a job posting for a sewer license, I'm applying,
I was hoping to drive the.
unless it's age limited.
Do you really want to drive the mower? If you'd like to drive the mower, we have a regular application you can fill out. We are in need of lawn mowing services, so you could do it in the weekends, evenings.
Yeah, you got weekends.
Run away and get the lawnmower out.
The sun's up later during the evening, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can buy those.
I know you're free around noon.
So that's another subject. We really should look at subbing some of that out.
Okay. Yeah, we will.
Take this for 1 second.
Leslie, you're doing papers, newspapers?
Yeah, I was just gonna do the local newspaper, but if you have a better idea or additional ideas of where we can put it, I mean, I can run it in like the News Herald, if you guys think that would be beneficial. I can run it in the Tribune, right? That's Trumbull's.
Kraft Mead's running radio ads constantly. I don't care what I listen to, I hear it. Why don't you check into some radio advertising as well?
Just do radio? Okay. We've done radio in the past too. We did the rock station out of Warren.
97.
Something, yeah, the Wolf
Where are
or
you
something
hearing
like
Kraft
that.
Mead? I've heard it a couple times, but I can't remember where.
106.5 all the time. I have it on my car, my garage, and I hear it
Wait a
on
minute.
there.
Well, I was just thinking, where do you want me to target? Only because the majority of our workforce is coming
Why
from,
don't you see what they're doing?
okay, I'll call her and ask her.
I think they know cost and markets are hitting, and I think let's just, I'm sure they did more marketing on this than we're gonna do, to see where they need to, how they need to do it.
We bought some billboards down in Warren area.
Kraft
No, I
Mead's got
thought it-
billboards here on
He's
528.
got a billboard out here.
I thought of Kraft Med the other day when I drove past their property on Richmond. I was like, why don't they make this a stop? Bus it back, but whatever. It was
went around
across
the-
the street from a bus stop. It was like,
I think I could make $4,000 in signing bonuses in the first month if I just work a week, make $4,000 plus whatever I made.
people are doing signing bonuses even for high level. My sister just got an extremely large signing bonus, and it's a ridiculous contract that she's doing for a company out of Wisconsin, so.
Whatever you have
That's
to do
another
to,
issue is that you have this whole entire workforce that is shifting what they're doing and who they can work for now. You know, it's not just in your state or even in your region anymore, it's,
I heard that somewhere people were getting, it wasn't high executive, it was like fast food or something. They'll give you $100 if you show up to the interview.
Show up.
Show up, yeah.
that's a huge problem right now, is
it's a
people.
shame, it's a shame you have to do that. I mean, it's the quality of,
I've had, even since we last talked, I've had all no-shows, all. Unless they're higher paying positions. It seems like that $12 an hour is, they're getting more sitting at home.
well, I still firmly believe they should shut off all unemployment in Johnson County.
And aren't they doing that?
It's in the news.
I
Well,
heard the
you gotta-
National
gotta get 'em.
Chamber of Commerce said no more. Officially.
I just heard the administration say they really don't think it has anything to do with the lack of workers. It's like, are you kidding me?
Well, they said that, and then in the next breath, they put into place additional items that now people taking unemployment have to do, so.
They honestly don't know.
Let's think of having to apply. I mean, that should be a given to start with. That should never have been taken away. And that's even a joke because you call places that aren't hiring. I mean, you can, I had a friend that was at Lincoln that had a toilet paper roll with employers on it. He just cranked the wheel every morning. Whatever name came up next, he called it. Anyhow, we have jobs in this town. We need to get it out there. make it known. And when I look at, whatever I look at is a job for every type of person. Service industry, manufacturing, landscapers, truck driver, I mean, anything you can think of, there's a job out there. Somebody's looking for that kind of help. Whatever you can do, you can breathe and walk, there's somebody's got a job for you, so.
A lot of diversity.
Yep.
More so than ever. But
Does anybody have any connections to celebrities? I mean, if you want to just get a splash, here's Middlefield and then go into the employment thing, what if we had some kind of, I mean, I don't really know anybody. I mean, Ben's probably the most influential person I know.
You're in trouble. You're gonna die disappointed.
Bill Rowley, he's friends with Alice Cooper,
Right.
you know, but he's not here.
In like sports, I guess it just depends who you.
Sports, rock and roll.
So every time I hear somebody talk about the devastation of COVID and how people aren't working and da-da-da, I'd love to get on a news channel somewhere and exploit that. So maybe we should look at somehow getting a, the thing is, we're not unique. Everybody in the whole state has the same issue, can't find help, so.
same boat.
So now, whatever we can do to advertise this thing, we got to get it out there, and hopefully we can we measure the response, Leslie?
Yeah, you mean like how many people are actually going on? I'm on it, so I'll get every single one that comes through.
Okay.
It was designed that way so we can monitor it a little bit. I thought about just shooting it out to when they ask, like, I want this industry, but then I'm like, it's just easier to send them. If you get 13, send all 13. If you get 4, send all 4. 'Cause
So I wonder if that's impactful enough, that first line.
Sure, I mean, please, by all
I'm just
means.
saying, looking for employment. How do we put out there, we have a job for you?
It's catchy.
Well, it wouldn't hurt to say your application will go to these industries, every one of them.
You have to update that list all the time.
Or just a sample or something, say
Yeah.
13 major industries in the area or something.
Unemployed,
say?
we have a job for you.
Bold letters.
Yeah.
Unemployed or underemployed? Maybe include
Underemployed,
everybody?
maybe, yeah.
Unemployed or underemployed, we have a job for you.
But everybody in this room worked 2 jobs at a lot of times, you know? You still do, Kim?
I do, I still know.
More than that.
You said we have a job for you?
Unemployed, underemployed, we have a job for you.
Okay.
But I think the attraction of this is the fact that you don't have to go and fill out 10 applications.
Right.
So that should be exploited. Saying one application gets you to everybody that's hiring.
It says we're gonna match you with employers.
Okay.
Yeah, but
put
it
in-
doesn't say that. I didn't get that until Leslie explained it.
I think maybe you're right, Kim. Maybe we should say it's going to go to local local companies.
Save
yeah.
yourself visiting every one. We've got the one-stop shop.
Streamline.
Say it that way, but that's the point, but that's not the way to say it. We're not a one-stop shop.
It's kind of like why I'm hesitant to put
That's
everybody's
Canadian.
name on it, too.
And you don't have to. If you just say the largest.
Only reason why I don't want to is because sometimes you get a huge, like, you just start to get like, I'm not going there because my friend said this, and they don't even try before.
Heard that 100
But
times.
you
Well,
could say your
local
your application will
businesses and
be, go
industry.
to all the top employers in the county or in the area. Save yourself some legwork.
Something like tired of filling out multiple applications,
Yeah, hit that
fill out
note.
one. I'll be more creative when I'm doing it.
This link will give you maximum exposure.
Yeah, my thinking was by saying like compete for your talent, like make them feel like almost like the dating site where like they're the desirable one and everyone is trying, kind of like shift maybe a little bit.
It's a little too ambiguous, because I saw that and I didn't get what's really going on.
I am definitely not a wordsmith, so please, if anybody can help.
Saying it's you got to it's got to be simple, clean, but impactful, so
Clear.
I'm just saying, you can't you can't spend 4 lines to explain this thing. It's like, we just gotta have a line that says, this thing will give you maximum exposure to major employers of Middlefield, match your talents with the employer, match your, something
I
that,
think it's as simple as saying your application will go to every employer.
Let the employers compete for your,
Saying that, it already says that.
The only difference with our application, the applicant's social security number is not on it. And that's only because I couldn't guarantee everybody's email that it's going to, it was going to encrypt it. So the employers
Can get that
do know
later.
that they'll have to obtain that from the applicant, but that's the only difference between this and a typical application.
so is it, the people in that room, have they looked at this app and said they like it?
Yeah, I did get good feedback. I also got good feedback because I sent it to all them. They signed up, and then I sent it to an email blast out to everyone. And I was getting feedback from everyone saying, this is so cool, I want to be a part of this,
All right,
so
so if you modify even that, I would send it to them, make sure that they're,
I'm going to send out one tomorrow that says, hey, don't forget, we went live yesterday. There's still time for you to get your emails in. Applicants will be starting to sign up soon, and then on their side, try to get the engagement. It's a lot of engagement going on.
I don't ever remember seeing that invitation, and maybe it didn't come to me.
It didn't go to you, it went to,
Brian?
Yes.
Okay. Because he never said anything, and I'm surprised he didn't.
you read it, because I can see who.
so let's talk about the let's talk about the chamber job fair.
So it's June 12th, and we just finished the posters, and we haven't done a mass mailing. I hit everybody that I could think of this morning, that's why you received it. And Lynette will do probably that tonight or tomorrow. And so it's just inviting every company to come June 12th, which is a Saturday, between the hours, the fair itself is between 10 and 3, setup is at 9. There's a charge of $50 for members, chamber members, $125 for non-members, which gets them a chamber membership. And simple as that, really.
It's in the,
And then we're
it's in the
gonna
middle
have-
school, in the
It's in the
gym.
middle school, it's in the gyms, and we will advertise it pervasively on social media and
You having a
newspapers.
food truck there?
We are having the Kiwanis in the cafetorium do their, whatever they're going to do, and probably the cheese booth. And beyond that, we haven't decided or hired anyone else.
So I thought for this thing with the industry at the football field, we should have a food truck there, excuse me, and have everybody punch your card. You go to this company, that company, that company. You get done, and we'll pay for the food. Like,
It's pretty cheap, it's only like, you can,
yeah, just
I
an
mean-
incentive to,
It's a great idea. So
It's like
they punch
6 to
the
8
card.
bucks.
don't
Ahead.
steal it. Don't steal it for the chamber outing, or chamber job.
Great idea, I like it.
the chamber would like to sponsor the food.
I just think people do it then for that reason, if nothing else. I'm afraid they'll,
You want me to invite like Magnet and those organizations?
absolutely.
Once we have a date nailed down, I think maybe it would be kind of neat to bring them in, or the OMA, Ohio Manufacturer Association, just to have them have a presence too, because maybe they can,
And I want a flyer announcing it that has detail more than meet potential,
there are actually already in print some really
secure
good.
your retirement so your kids don't steal it all. We have a way for your child to be financially independent without ruining you to do it. I'm just saying, I
come up
wanted
with-
something so
Yeah.
they know there's value to it, and let's make it a,
I've been pulling some things together, getting ideas from different things so we can make our own, but there are some things where it's geared towards the children in grades 8 through 10. And then there's some that are specifically geared towards the families, like the parents, to let them know what manufacturing was, 30 years ago is not the same as manufacturing today. I mean, some of it is, let's be honest, it's manufacturing, but some of it isn't. Some of it is a lot different, so, I am getting there. So I do have flyers in case anybody did want to take it with them. If you didn't get one, I can email them to you too, or you can get them from our website. Both websites, Middlefield Means Business and Middlefield, Ohio. It's up on both of them, so, both flyers.
What about the people that don't have computers? Maybe go to the library, or do we have something up at the library to?
I do not have something up the library. I can go and drop something off. Yeah. You know what, I'll send it to Rachel, at the library so that she knows that it's available, so when people come in, she can just direct them to apply. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hopefully we can get a date before school's out where they can give it to these kids before they leave,
They graduate the 15th, correct?
next week.
But I was just thinking for our site too, I can give it to Rachel, and when people come in to use a computer to apply for jobs, they can just say, hey, did you know Middlefield has this? And they can just fill out one.
Great to have it like on their landing page or something, or on their computer screen when it hits.
I'll call her and see what I can do.
How about our sign downtown, or an
Yep.
overhead banner?
That's Chris.
I'm listening to the job situation, and I've got a kid who's graduating, our oldest son. I mean, he had opportunities to go play college basketball, and he doesn't want to go to college. He just wants to work. So it's hitting home real. He said, Dad, I just want to get done with high school and start working.
What does he want to do? Does he know?
He wants to be a real estate investor. I said, that's a great opportunity, son, but you're going to need money to do that.
It's
So,
not, that's not the first career.
Houses and stuff?
yeah, I know some people that do that, and he's heard lots of stories about, getting property very
Windfalls?
inexpensively, but yeah, I mean, it's neat to see that he wants to work right away. I mean, I'm thankful for that, but it's just crazy. It's hard to believe that there's all the jobs and no one wants to work. I don't want to say no one wants to work, but that there's no workers. That just seems, like you said, I
don't
remember
wanna
working
work.
2-3 jobs.
Yeah.
I used to work at a golf course in Medina. I drove an hour and 10 minutes to work at the pro shop, left there, got my tool belt on, and did carpentry for 4 or 5 hours. So it's like,
I worked at Parkman's, Ohio, and then in a restaurant down as a short order cook. in
But you
Warren.
probably wouldn't have if somebody's paying you to play at home.
Yeah, I wouldn't have.
I think we have lowered expectations today. I think there's a defeatist attitude among, like, you can't get ahead. You can get ahead. This is the land of opportunity. It's like, these kids have got to realize that. It's like, I heard someone say the other day, oh, we're surviving. It's like, that's what you want in life, is survival? I mean, that's important, but it's like
It
you'd
is
want.
low expectations.
Yeah, so it's not, I think that's why divorce rate's so high, because, you take the stereo, I take the dog. That's the end of that story. It's like, it's sad. So we've got to change it somehow. I saw a letter to the editor by Don Hornack. Do you remember Don Hornack?
Yeah. Did he,
And he said, every voice, every person, every voice is important. What's going on in this country, we need to, you're only one, but you need to, and I'm gonna be one of those, because I'm sick of this. What I'm saying is like, and I know it's, part of it's I'm getting older, but just like you said, you work 2 jobs. I never in my life thought not supporting my family was an option. If I had to sleep 2 hours a day and work 22, if that's what it took to make ends, that's what I did.
yeah, exactly.
And I just saw that, I mentioned that thing of Woodcraft with that Friday, Saturday, Sunday shift, 12-hour shifts, 36 hours. Crab you can work 4 10s, so you get 40 hours there. You can make $100,000 a year if you want. And if your needs are the fact you need $100,000 a year, guess what I would have done? I'd have worked both those jobs and worked 70 hours a week and made ends meet. But it's like, no, now we're all entitled for some reason. We don't, it's not our fault. So anyhow, let's hope we can help Middlefield employers. They're important to our village. It's the most important ingredient there is in a manufacturing. So if you want to grow the village and expand our manufacturing, we're blessed already. It's like everyone that comes here, Liz and I met with two guys from Kingsville, Kinsman. And they want to know why Middlefield stays so vibrant, and, we are blessed here. You don't see many areas of this demographic with this kind of employment and this kind of, major companies, and so we need to make sure we do whatever we can to maintain that position, so.
You think maintenance,
Yep.
just to maintain what you got. Huge.
I wonder if kids these days, with all this cancel culture and, you say the wrong thing in college and you're blackballed, they're kicking you out. I wonder if that's having an effect on college kids and not wanting to even go there, especially from around here. If you're conservative, a college conservative kid,
I think they've seen a generation of kids that have 50,000 or more in debt, and the little common sense kicks in.
why do I need all that debt?
Because they can't get jobs that they thought they would get because of that 50 grand in debt.
I don't come out CEO,
Okay, anything else?
Transportation study.
Yeah, I just added it in here. It is back and running. Because this group is the stakeholder group, instead of having another kickoff meeting, I had Ryan from Envision just put together a kind of what we've done, what we were able to do through 2020, and then what we're doing now.
We do the traffic counts?
Yep. So the
That'll be
traffic counts just
interesting.
got done. Yeah, the traffic counts are being done. It was a battle, but we finally won it against Noaca, so.
What?
Noaca still at the time wasn't opening up or allowing anyone to do traffic counts because they were worried that they, would be useless. So ODOT spoke on
Is
our.
everybody's quarantined, you mean?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so we
right.
explained.
There's more cars on the road than ever.
Right, and we explained to them that Middlefield is kind of the little anomaly to some of the other areas that they're used to seeing. And so ODOT was on our behalf and everybody, so we did get the approval to do that, and they were out last week, doing counts.
What about, like the big 87 construction and detours? How will that affect the count? Not the count necessarily, but the direction of the cars?
As far as,
Well, somebody normally coming in west on 87, they're probably going to now be coming up north on 608.
but we'll still be capturing them.
The overall count,
Yeah,
but the
we would
direction
s-
of
right.
the road may be.
And it's also gonna be paired with projective modeling. So knowing that there is a construction project in that area, you'll get your physical counts with also your your modeling. And then those two analytics together are what recommendations and things come out of. Because just like, every Friday, every Monday isn't the same traffic flow Tuesday, so it's just a spread overall. And it's for all modes of transportation. I had Joe put in the request to Param to get our signal timings, so as soon as I get those two, I'll get those over to Envision. We want to make sure that all of our signal timings are optimized in order to not completely always buzz everybody through, because you kind of do want people to stop and look around and look at your small businesses, but just to make sure we're not creating unnecessary bottlenecks.
I can tell you for free, we are.
I know we are, but in order for us to get money to fix them, I have to.
I think everything's working right, just the timing's not, we have them set wrong. It's like,
So, once I get that from Param, I'll send it over, and they know that that's one of our main components and one of our main issues, so. Once we get that, we'll be able to see our fresh.
so are they looking at bottlenecks, solutions for, that Arby's? One guy at lunch that's coming from the east going west and wants to turn in there, will have traffic backed up for a mile. And to me, it looks like there's space, but hopefully they're looking at all that.
Yeah, there will be. There is some already recommendations that ODOT did along that road. Some of them I don't think, well, I mean, you'll see all of them and you can look them up now if you wanted to. But some of them are like putting up dividers so people can't turn left in certain areas. So those will come through, maybe widening, putting in a turn lane or just putting in, what do they call them, the suicide lane? There is,
Center turn.
a senator, thank you. That's a better way to, I knew it wasn't right when it was coming out.
That's not the official.
But all, yeah, and then there will be, it's in the packet too, the public meeting where you get the public engagement, will be June 9th. So it'll be right in between next month's meetings. The public engagement meeting will be here from 6 till about 7:30, I'm thinking. It would only
That wouldn't make it real long.
6 to 7. You said you'd be able to come open, unlock and lock.
Yeah.
So come and give your opinions.
Oh, well.
But no, for real, like encourage people to come to it. Also in here are some of the results to the questionnaire that was put around town, that everybody was answering. So, you know, like all surveys, they don't get answered by everybody ever. So I don't know if anybody had any concerns, anything you want me to go back, anything maybe you want me to have them drill down on more at the public meetings? And then also, what is everybody's feeling on if we did like an online portal where people could just submit, you know, digital feedback or anything, or do you guys not like that idea? Okay,
Feedback's good, sure.
okay.
So did we direct the hours of this study? The traffic study?
It's all day, yeah.
What's all day? Seven to 7, I see it.
Okay, thank you.
Just had to get the,
I was like, I don't know the exact time.
there are certain times of day that you just don't go south on 608. And other times of day, you don't even touch your brakes, so I'll make sure they got, and they
And when
did.
I sent it to the business, they didn't say like, oh no, our shift starts actually at 6:30. I didn't have anybody give me any feedback like that where we would need to shift it, so.
I can tell you at HC, they start at 7. But luckily, everybody comes in 5 minutes late, so they probably caught everybody.
Then we'll get them leaving the shift too. You'll see that influx and you'll be able to tell,
But
you'll
they
be able to see
But they
it.
work 7 to 7,
Oh, yeah.
so they're missing that block of people.
I'll just mark that down and let them know. Maybe they can keep that one area, kind of shift it a little bit.
They can do 608 and 528 from 6:30 to 6:30, I think, or 6:30 to 7:30 would be probably a different story.
Like 6:30 to 7:30, you said?
I think those hours are bad, the more I think about it.
Okay, what do you want me to have?
Rapme works 2 10s. I imagine they're starting by 7.
Yes, they would be.
I think they're all
Well,
there by
you would-
then.
If they're working 10s and they start at 7,
Well, you'll get them on the way
you
out.
would get them on the way out, yeah.
Traffic definitely is before 7 in the morning. I hit it every day.
So when is that public hearing or public participation?
What is the, what did I put in here, the 9th? June 9th?
June 9th, 6 PM.
It's on the back of your packet. Yeah, June 9th.
business side. Kim, is there something that businesses would like to chime in on this?
So there is that component. I know it's been a long time, so Envision we gave them a list of business leaders to reach out to have a discussion with them about what they're hearing from their employees, what they think, maybe even some of their logistics with their trucking or getting their product in and out. Are they seeing times that maybe that's causing an issue? So they are going to be having conversations with those, and there's industrial, there's retail, like commercial style businesses, so it's a good mix.
Look at all lights, right? I think that one at Kraft Maid's a waste of time.
You said the light over by Kraft Maid?
I think it's a waste of time. I think people sit there, they could be pulling out, and they can't because it's a red light. I just don't think it has any value.
I wonder if you could change the signalization of it to like blink when you don't need, like a more of a caution blink on off hours. And then when it's a peak hour time. I'll have them take a look at it.
They had 4,800 employees. I was mayor then, they asked me to get a light put in there, and so we fought for it. Well, it got put in after I was a mayor, and the way that those lanes are configured, it's absolutely a waste of everybody's time and effort out. I mean, it's a waste of money. And I see people seeing that light, and I'm the only car coming towards them. They could have been out 3 times before I get there.
Yeah, that's why I'm wondering, like, maybe keep the light there just so since there is sometimes a higher traffic
So maybe
flow.
there's a way to trigger it at shift change where they
Right.
lets people out. But
Yeah,
Put a sign, left turn on red.
Crab Maker could probably tell you that if it's got value or doesn't have value.
yeah, that's what I mean, like, we can talk to them about that, but it may even end up being like over on Springdale and Lake where it blinks, but like you said, you can set it up to actually run the cycle at changes.
Say the Industrial Parkway has no light. Well, I'm saying, but I would think there's more of a need there. You've got 10 companies down there that are all lighting. It's like,
A lot of truck
and
traffic.
and right, the truck traffic blends with the employee traffic, and there's a bend right there in the road where you don't get a lot of line of sight. So anyhow, they need.
Yeah, I'll
they
make
need-
sure, and I'll bring up that these were brought up again by the committee, just to make sure they double check and do address them.
Okay.
Anything else? Well, I'll
Now time for the next meeting.
all in favor?
I hope you gave Scott a bunch of crap about not being here tonight. Stuff about,
He won. My son's cutting his grass.
oh, is that right? Hey, Dave. Good, how are you?
I'm like seeing you in person instead of on a screen.
Come on in. This meeting is over, waiting for the next one.
Yep.
You can go,
Come
you
on
can
in.
grab a mic. Sit by a mic.
Make sure you don't go anywhere far, that stuff smells like a distillery.
Oh, I got some of that too. It's really bad. It's like, whoa.
Because it's the other type of alcohol, it's the corn.
Really didn't touch much here, maybe this. Man, it does.
Could you send it to Carrie?